yesterday I was at lunch with somebody, and I thought they told me that they were getting ready to have their 10th baby, and I hugged him real big. And it was Dr. J.J. Sanford from the University of Dallas. I go, oh, man, and I hug him. An hour later, we're done with this lunch with somebody, and we're walking off, and I said, congratulations again on the baby. He goes, it's not me. I was talking about Ashton. And I go, Ashton's having baby number 10? He goes, yeah. And I go, why'd you let me hug you? Like, I'm never going to hug you because somebody else is having a baby. Like, that's stupid.
But doesn't it empower you to want to do weird things, knowing that nobody's going to do anything about it?
Yeah, most people are too polite.
Yeah, you could just do the most bizarre stuff, and people will be like, I guess I had to go with that. I don't know.
Jeff's been doing that for decades.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, BeatiDudes. Welcome to BeatiDudes Nation, to one of the greatest experiences you're going to have this day, whatever day you're listening to this. We are the BeatiDudes, a show, actually a brand, a movement for Christian men seeking to grow in their walk with the Lord as they also experience what true, authentic fraternity is, that humor and holiness that allows us to live the joy of the gospel with one another, taking the faith seriously, but not ourselves.
Not ourselves.
Not at all, actually. My name's Jeff Schuffelbein. I'm glad to be joined by co-host Nicholas Besner.
I've been holding my breath that whole intro. I'm excited to be here.
Good, because I did it all in one breath, so we got a lot in common. And then the guy with the best breath that I can smell at the table, Paul Colker.
Hi. Happy to be here.
I take it back.
Yeah, I should probably take a breath mint or something.
Hey, so this is an exciting time for us. We're recording this, and it'll be released in the middle of January. And the show is just skyrocketed this year.
Off.
Yeah.
Yes.
Things are looking amazing.
Yeah, of the podcasts that are out there, this is one of them.
Yeah, and it has been. So there's really cool stuff going on there.
Yeah, it's wild and crazy stuff.
We're very blessed to be welcoming a guest, another out-of-town guest. If you haven't figured it out, we must be a big deal, because most of our guests, probably half of them, come in from out of town.
Yeah.
Now, they end up doing things like emceeing major events while they're here as an extra, just a bonus.
Yeah, they schedule those later.
That's how that worked, yeah.
Yeah, let's have 120 people downtown on the top of a building, because I'm coming in town for the BeatiDudes.
For sure. We are the priority.
We welcome to the show Joel Stepanek.
Stepanek. I love that you got it right the first time.
Oh, is that really it?
And wrong the second time?
No, it's Stepanek, yeah. A lot of people mispronounce it, and I always go with it.
Yeah.
I never correct people, and I realize that it's made me the bad guy, actually. Like my boss for a long time.
Yeah, you look like a jerk
my
then.
last name. Yeah, exactly. And like I got to a point where people were like, shouldn't you correct them? I'm like, I'm in too deep.
Yeah,
I'm
at this
the
point I
jerk
can't.
now. So like if I go to him and say, hey, for the last 8 years, you mispronounced my last name. He's going to be like, why didn't you tell me earlier?
You got like 2.5 weeks.
I'm in too deep. Like he could call me, Joel, Johnson. And I'd be like, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Two random things that come to mind. One is yesterday I was at lunch with somebody, and I thought they told me that they were getting ready to have their 10th baby, and I hugged him real big. And it was Dr. J.J. Sanford from the University of Dallas. I go, oh, man, and I hug him. An hour later, we're done with this lunch with somebody, and we're walking off, and I said, congratulations again on the baby. He goes, it's not me. I was talking about Ashton. And I go, Ashton's having baby number 10? He goes, yeah. And I go, why'd you let me hug you? Like, I'm never going to hug you because somebody else is having a baby. Like, that's stupid.
But doesn't it empower you to want to do weird things, knowing that nobody's going to do anything about it?
Yeah, most people are too
that's a
polite.
really-
Yeah, you could just do the most bizarre stuff, and people will be like, I guess I had to go with that. I don't know.
Jeff's been doing that for decades.
Yeah, you could be completely erratic,
You're
and
on to-
nobody
somebody's
would
on
call
to
you on it.
Yeah.
If you could endorse me for that on LinkedIn, that's actually like my one
Jeff's
skill.
so good at awkward hugs.
He has a real positive column on erratic behavior.
Surprise for you, delight for Jeff.
Yeah, my other thing I want to share with you is every time I'm like, oh, Joel Stepanek's going to be on the show, and they're like, oh, man, I love Chris Stepanek. And I'm like, I'm not. I didn't even say either one of those words.
I will share this with you.
Okay.
Can't wait.
I have had people come up to me and be like, oh, I saw your brother speak. I had one woman come up to me and say, we are so excited to have you at our parish. And I was like, oh, okay, yeah, me too. And I'm just going with it. I don't know. And she's like, yeah. And she hands me her card. It's San Diego. I'm not speaking anywhere in San Diego. And I'm trying to explain to her, you got the wrong guy. And she's adamant. And now I'm worried. Like I missed an email. I committed to something.
This is awesome.
I just go with it. I'm like, yep, I'm so excited. She brings her priest up. Oh, we're so excited to have you at our parish. I'm like, and I email afterwards, and I'm like, I think there's a mistake. She goes, oh, no, your brother is coming, Chris. And I've had people do this, and there have been a couple of times where I've lied.
Yeah.
And been like, yeah, he's great. And I'll tell them stories about a childhood that we never had together.
Oh, yes.
Just to see if it gets back to Chris. Because we interact from time to time.
Sure.
And like if somebody says, oh, and your brother Joel told me this hilarious story. I didn't know you had like an iron leg. That's so weird. Stupid.
Last night at dinner, the event you're emceeing, the guy sitting next to me goes, is that related to Chris? I'm like, different last name. Completely different.
Yeah, it's not even spelled the same.
Correct.
Yeah, they're not spelled the same. I'm not sure how you think this works.
Correct.
I mean, there's a stark height genetic difference between us. He is at least 7 inches taller than I am.
Rhymes with doesn't equal genetically connected.
That's
exactly.
true. That's not how that works.
It's not how that works.
I've said that for years.
Well, then, I really have mistaken this Ryan Rufflebine that's at St. Anne's.
Well, and I did the opposite. I used to tell people I was Matthew McConaughey.
I love it. All right.
That wasn't awkward when people wanted to slap me. What's your name?
Yeah.
Like, that was a single man, Matthew. Matthew, that's interesting. Yeah, Matthew McConaughey.
Oh, are you related?
Yep, we figured it out.
We've cracked the code.
Joel, you came in town for the Catholic Music Initiative fundraiser dinner, benefit dinner, awesome group, and you rocked it, man. You told some incredible stories last night. You are very comfortable with the microphone, so here we are.
Yeah, when I rock the mic right.
Go on. What's the next verse of this?
I don't know.
But the thing that you are doing right now as your full-time occupation is related to the National Eucharistic Revival. Tell us about what's going on in your world.
Yeah, so I am part of this movement. I've actually been there for about a year at the time of this recording. And it's this national movement to bring people back to a love of Jesus Christ, specifically through the Eucharist. And I've been blessed to work with a growing team and a startup, and it's sometimes hard to have a startup organization in the church that immediately has buy-in and backing from everybody. So that's been weird. You have the pains of a startup with everybody like, we're all cheering for you.
Instant demand and...
Yeah. Instant demand, instant tension, but all of that stuff has been fun. And the Bish is big. So we're working towards this large conference in Indianapolis in July of 2024, where we will welcome, over 60,000 Catholics to that city to be united, to be formed, to be healed, and then to be sent back out into the world as evangelists. And that's pretty exciting to me. We've not done an event like this since the 1940s in the United States. So we're 80 years overdue for a National Eucharistic Congress. And that's pretty wild to think about, that the last time we did this, World War II, was in its early stages.
Yeah.
And it was needed then, and it's needed now.
And so for somebody here, okay, we're going to have this event. All these people are coming to town. Of the 60,000, I'm bringing 1% of them in my van. They're my family. What is the? I'll have more by then. I'm having a baby next week when this episode comes out. By the way, what does the event entail? Like, how does it build up to it? What would you expect if you were there? And you got to give us specific details, as if you know every detail in the future.
I do know every detail in the future because I have this special crystal ball. You can expect a lot of what you'd get at a normal conference, but amplified. So all of the leading Catholic voices, bishops, speakers will all be present there, delivering keynotes. But I think what you can expect beyond that is just an experience of Catholic community and energy that we've not seen when you bring that many people together in one place. On Saturday, we'll process the Blessed Sacrament through the city of Indianapolis, downtown, and that's going to be pretty incredible. And then on Sunday, we'll have a large closing mass with a papal delegate, which is going to be pretty fantastic. And then we're going to send, like I said, 60,000 people out back to their homes. So a lot of what you would expect amplified at a normal Congress, with the added element of people from the four corners of the United States. They're all united in prayer and witness to who Jesus is and what Jesus wants to do.
And then at the end, you'll announce that the next one will be in 2104.
No. On 100 years from now, join us again.
Yeah, he did 80
Your
years.
great
80.
grandchildren.
I was doing the 80, keeping
Oh, that's
the
true,
80
yeah.
alive.
These
Yeah.
guys- your
These guys
math
are
is
good at
better.
math.
Yeah, I'm not.
Tell me about how isn't there processions leading up to this?
There are 4 Eucharistic pilgrimages that are
I
gonna
noticed on the
happen.
map they're skipping Irving. We just have too much.
It's too good. Sometimes you can't put that much good in one spot. There are 4 National Eucharistic pilgrimages. This is exciting because there are going to be groups of young adults who will process across the United States with the Blessed Sacrament. And I mean, that's going to impact millions of people.
Mhm.
So it is biblical, Jesus walking the streets. They have some incredible moments planned along that route where they will stop, at shelters, at soup kitchens. They'll stop at a variety of different communities, and we'll process. I've got to do math in my head. I think it's 5,000 miles in total on those routes.
Wow.
Where, they're just going to bring the Lord to the streets, and all of those paths will converge on Indianapolis in July of 2024.
And here's my question on that. Like, what does that look like to get involved? If I'm like, hey, I live in Dallas and I just like join it the day that it's there,
Yeah.
or
There will be events along the route,
Yeah.
so there will be places that will stop, and there will be mass or adoration or a service project. So those things will happen, but there will be all moments where you could just join up and walk alongside that group for a mile, 10 miles,
Whatever
and,
you're feeling.
Whatever you're feeling. I
That's
mean, you got to
cool.
find a way back.
Sure.
So you got to be mindful of the trip
Uber.
home. You could Uber back. I guess that actually, as I'm saying, I'm like, you get 10 miles of walking, but Ubering back would take you 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Nice.
Wow.
So you could just join up.
So it's like a mashup almost of like a World Youth Day meets Camino of Santiago de Compostela. Like I mean, it's a walking pilgrimage in a way, but
Yeah.
then culminating in a large gathering of the church.
Yeah, exactly.
That's awesome.
Exactly.
That is so cool.
And the entire idea of it is to rekindle a love of Jesus Christ and to introduce Jesus Christ to people.
Yeah.
Can you imagine like watching one of these processions as you're sitting at a cafe having brunch and you have no clue what's going on, but somebody in that
Thousands.
procession answers your question, and
Yeah.
just to spark that interest. Or even you're a kid that went to a youth conference and you've fallen away from the faith, and you see that monstrance, and immediately you're brought back to this moment. Or you think about all the people who say, the stories of I prayed for a sign and then this happened.
Yeah.
Sure.
That's a
Yeah,
pretty
that's
big
going to
sign.
happen, right?
Yeah.
I always like the public procession moment too, where somebody who didn't know they were about to encounter Christ in the Eucharist, but knows what is happening, sees what's up, and just immediately falls to the ground on their knees. And
Yeah.
that is always where I get emotional, because
Right.
I know what I'm doing in the procession, or if I'm on my knees. But when I look and I see somebody else have that moment, that moves me to see the power that Christ has in them.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
lots of that going to be happening too.
There was this moment I was in the Diocese of Helena in Montana, and they did a small Eucharistic procession at the diocese, and the route went underneath a bridge in the city. And they said that there were several displaced individuals that were there. And when they walked by exactly that, they stood up, and, a couple kneeled. And then as they were walking by, one of them went to a person farther back and just said, thank you, for bringing Jesus to us. Nobody comes to us, but you brought Jesus to us. I mean,
I got
that's
chills,
incredible.
brother.
That's cool.
Well, and I know for people that are listening to this and haven't really tuned into what's happening, first of all, y'all put out great weekly newsletters and information and helping to bring this Eucharistic revival on the parish and diocese level over this last 2 years. But there's still plenty of people who aren't really cued into what's going on. And if you go online and you learn about this, and what's the website for this?
EucharisticRevival.org.
Okay, and if you go on there, you'll see that the event happening in Indianapolis has stuff for the whole family, right? There's adult tracks, teenage tracks. You can bring your whole family, and it's supposed to be an event, not a conference for adults and young adults. Like,
Mhm.
this is truly a movement for America, for the world, of Christ coming back in this National Eucharistic Congress that's been 80 years since we did it last.
80 years in the making. Yes.
We got to have another one. I can't make it 80 more years. Like, let's.
We'll maybe keep it to like 4. We'll
Y'all-
follow the election cycle.
There you go.
I'm going to brag on the Congress. Y'all did something I've never seen anybody do before. I was an early adopter, paid for all my kids to go, got an Airbnb, did the whole thing. And y'all updated family rates. There was like
Mhm.
this new, under a certain age, we're not going to charge you. And literally I got the note saying, hey, heads up. and then the refund. And I'm like, who has ever done this?
Yeah.
Like that quickly?
Yeah. And of course I just turn around, I'm like, I'll donate it. You know, like
Yeah.
there's something just power, but it moved me that it wasn't just like, how do we make sure that this is just about money? This was really about getting people there.
Yeah, it is. And I think as it's been 80 years since we've done it. So as we've looked at budgets and people have been generous, we realized that there was a place where we could make an adjustment to allow more people to come and allow kids to come for free. And then, to honor all of those people that had already paid, we wanted to make sure that we refunded.
Did y'all just take
that
the
money.
budget from 80 years ago and just add a percentage to it just to...
There's nothing from 80 years ago. There's like some really cool pictures that we
Times 400.
found. We found this girl's diary from going to the
Whoa,
180. Yeah,
wow.
somebody like diary pages and pictures of her pilgrimage to the Eucharistic Congress in
Nobody
Chicago, which
does
was
that
super
anymore.
cool.
Yeah, that's
So-
awesome.
But there's no plan. This is like, Mary Lou's journal, but
Yeah.
there's no budget.
So wait, so they didn't like do investments from that one that would have surely matured by now?
No.
Pay for this one?
Yeah, it should be all paid
I
for.
mean, yeah,
right?
That's a great idea,
$100
though.
bucks 80 years ago.
That'd be great.
Right.
Would have worked out really, really well.
We found all these war bonds.
Who are you most excited to hear speak? And I know everybody's great, but like, what's somebody that you're really pumped up about hearing?
There is a religious sister named Mother Adela Galindo,
Mm.
and she is a foundress of an order out of Miami, and she's the first Hispanic woman to found an order in the United States. And I have heard anytime I bring her name up to people who know her, they're like, she is a living saint. And so she's not well known, but I'm very excited to hear her.
Oh,
Hear
well,
her
I love
speak.
that. You know, if you're going to talk and start to spread the word, just start with 60,000 people plus whoever else might be hearing this. Is there going to be like a way to participate if you're not in the stadium?
Yeah, so there will be a live stream of the sessions that will be available online, so people can follow that way if they're unable to be there. So the main sessions will have a live stream. I mean, if you can get there in person, there's power in that, but it'll be accessible. Those main talks and masses, people will be able to tune in online.
How'd you get this cool job?
It was an accident.
They tried to hire Chris Stepanek.
Yeah, that's it. They tried to hire Chris.
We'll get his brother.
He was unavailable, so.
So let's get this
I did it
Yoel.
Yo,
Is that a soft J? Well,
Yoel Stepanek.
well, Stepanek. Just go with a real hard P.
amazing.
You're going to stick with that's your story of how you got this job. Pure accident.
No, I kind of want to.
I think it's great.
I was.
We should hug about that.
We should hug about that. Congratulations on your accidental
I'm going to
job.
hug Paul about your accidental
all-
job.
That makes sense. Yes. Now we're good.
No, I was just felt the Lord kind of working in my life. And actually, it's the real short story is I got an email from Tim Glimkowski, who's the CEO, inviting me to be a part of the programming committee in June of 2022. And it was right before I was about to walk into Mass, and I felt the Lord say in that moment, I'm doing something new. And that was it. And then well, that's kind of cool. And through the programming committee, Tim and I connected a little bit, and in October of 2022, he said, I think we have a job for you that might fit some of your gifts and talents. And he laid that out for me, and praying about it, I'm like, yeah, that was the new thing the Lord was doing.
Cool.
And kind of prepping me for this role at this moment in history.
You and I actually talked back then in this, like
We did.
something was brewing. I didn't know it was the Congress, but you were very clear that something was brewing and something was going to change. So
Yeah.
that's incredible. And then Dave Moore is part of this group too. You got like an all-star cast of people putting this together.
We do.
What about music artists? Is there anybody besides Dave Moore who's been on the show a million times and makes all these cameos?
Yep.
We love him. Is there anybody besides him that is an artist that we would know or that we can be excited about playing there?
There are.
Oh,
I
it's
don't
not
know
to be
what-
released.
It's not to be
Oh,
released.
my goodness.
Oh, we can't break the
No,
news
there
here.
are a couple
Weird
of
that-
names that we are just kind of
Well,
holding back until.
Is-
What
what's-
about maybe somebody they're
tease?
related to based on rhyming names?
Is there anybody performing that rhymes with the beatitudes?
We should have you do a live show there. That'd be fun.
60,000
That'd be
people.
so
We're pulling out
fun.
we're in a tiny table. Why are they touching?
We could actually put up cubicle walls so that it,
feels even.
yeah,
yeah,
replicate
put
the
those-
environment.
I love this
like
so
that.
much. Please.
Paul always says, I try to pitch every guest to do something cool with us afterwards.
Yeah, I mean, I will. Even if it's not released by that time, Matt Maher will be one of the musicians there, so we're very excited.
Phenomenal.
To have Matt there.
Yep.
You know, he'll be great on Saturday evening. We'll have.
Did you
him.
say Bat Bar?
I said Bat Bar.
Okay.
Well,
He's
they're
my-
related.
He's my third cousin on my mom's side.
My mom's like, hey, what about we're talking about like what happens next? What happens next after a Congress? Like what do you do with this movement and this team and this connection and this listserv? Like you're not just going to sell off emails
Well,
to
I
people.
think-
Like what's the next part?
I think it goes to the president to be signed.
That's true.
Sorry. Why the
After,
dead air?
after Congress? Yeah.
Okay.
Everybody
We
was
don't
just
do
wondering how
politi-
you made that jump.
We don't do political jokes on this show.
Don't. It was very clear in your primer.
was a
There's
s-
no political jokes.
That was a civics joke.
And
That
I had
was-
so many good political jokes, and I've
Civics.
shelved all of them. After this, in the Eucharistic revival,
Checks
it's the
and
year of
balances.
It just didn't land, Paul. Sometimes
judiciary
you can
branch.
do everything.
I'm sorry. I'll lengthen the phylacteries on my bicameral camel legislature. Sorry, I'm trying to force it. Anyway, please continue.
there will be a year of like missionary sending. So after this, there will be a focus nationwide for the empowerment of people as missionaries to go to their local sphere of influence and share what they've been gifted through the Congress. And then hopefully that continues to sow some seeds. And then every 4 years, the goal is to have another Congress, with a big moment in 2033, which would be 2,000 years since the institution of the Eucharist. So that's the big goal of what we're working towards, is to build momentum here so that in that year, we can really do something incredible to commemorate who the Lord is and what the Lord has done, is doing, and will do.
I'm going to make a prediction. The 2020s are pretty much like overshadowed by this COVID thing. Like it kind of just blew the beginning of this decade, but it's setting us up for the 2000th anniversary of the institution of the Eucharist and the 500th anniversary of Our Lady of Guadalupe appearing to St. Juan Diego. Like we're going to have a great time in the 2030s. Now it's still going to be good. There's plenty of things to have hope for. But I'm telling you, stick around. It's going to be awesome.
A lot of BeatiDudes episodes between
We will
then and
have
now.
a lot of...
I'm not saying the next 7 years are going to be terrible, but hold out for 2030.
I can't wait to be like a 57-year-old BeatiDude in here singing and drinking Red Bull next to you. And my wife...
We'll hit episode like 1,000 that year.
I will have 26 kids.
Yeah, at the rate you're going, yes.
Yes. Well, listen.
And we'll all be hugging other people for you.
Yeah.
Jeff's having a kid, everybody.
Congratulations.
Bring it in.
Amazing.
Joel, we want to spice it up a little bit here. Why don't we play a game together?
I love that.
Yeah.
The game's called Blessed Are the Joke Makers, for they shall inherit the points.
Isn't that beautiful?
This
Joel,
one's-
have you ever listened to us before?
I have.
Do you ever think like, oh, I could do this. I'm so smart.
No, I don't.
Oh, well, I was going to
I
have you
don't.
just jump right in.
Yeah,
I
we were
don't
gonna-
think those things. I've learned not to think those things.
We have not learned that.
No, yeah, as evidenced.
Wouldn't that be nice?
By our behavior, by our continued decisions in life. But yes,
This
the way,
one's going to be worth
yeah.
80
Oh,
for 80 years.
Perfect.
Come on.
come on. Get it.
And the way this works is we got a character card and a Catholic card game card, and we have to answer the prompt on the Catholic card game card as said character. So you just get to decide whoever did it best according to you. There is no wrong, right, in between, indifferent. It's you just choose like I like that one.
That's great.
It's just whatever you do feels better or worse to some of us.
Well, yeah, we'll cry in the car on the way
Gosh,
home,
you're really
depending.
striking at my desire for people to like me.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So it's
Okay.
well, actually, don't think about who you want to like you more because we just met, but but like think just what tickles your fancy in the moment.
But
Sounds
Joel,
good.
imagine if I won, that those two would probably hug out of excitement.
They probably would. They'd be so excited for you.
I'm not following.
But the thing
this
is, I'm
delusion.
like right in the middle of them, and I don't think that I
Need that?
want that.
Let's
Yeah.
go on with the game.
All
The
right.
show must go on.
Here we go. The character card is as a drill sergeant. You have to answer the prompt. Lord, I need blank. Lord, I need Matt Marr and Bat Barr to be at the Eucharistic Congress. I need both of them there because they're brothers and they sing well together. And Lord, I need you. Oh, I need you. Yes, I need you. Every time I need you. You're my one defense, my righteousness. Oh, Lord, how I need you.
You really kept that going. You kept that going 20 seconds longer than you needed to keep that going.
What
Oh,
I
dang,
can't
I think I
stand
just
is
lost.
like he broke into my file cabinet, and every time I pulled out a new file, it went out of his mouth, and I was like, nope, gosh, no. Oh, so ditto is no. Okay, I still got to play, but I think Nick's up.
Lord, I need you to lift your name on high, to lift your name on high, to lift your name on high, to lift your name on high.
So off key.
Why
too.
did he become a surfer bro partway through?
Drop and give me 20.
It started out drill sergeant-esque.
I love that though. That was so good.
It did take me back to like my youth group in 2002.
Lord, ditto the first sergeant.
You can't triple stamp a double stamp.
I literally have
Try
to
to
show him
sing with this voice. That one.
I got this.
And we believe in you.
No, I'm just gonna sing. I have no
Got it.
good thing here. Lord, I got a feeling that tonight's gonna be a good night. That tonight's. I'm pandering to a story. He told
You
us
are.
that.
You are pandering to my love of the Black Eyed Peas. And for that, Jeff, you will win.
Are you kidding
You
me?
can pander all day. That's what you're going to learn about me.
I pandered to the Eucharistic revival.
Yeah, but that's a corporate thing. That was a personal thing.
Okay.
Ooh, my friends, that got weird.
Right?
And then it turned into 80 points for Jeff. If anybody wants to hug right now.
You shouldn't. You can high five right.
There we
That's
go.
great.
Hey, Joel, for being our celebrity guest judge, we're giving you socks from sockreligious.com of St. Rose of Lima. How much do you know about St. Rose of Lima?
Not enough to answer.
Well,
any
that's
question
why
you
they
ask.
put this on the back, because I learned so much just getting these socks ready for you. I fluff them a little bit before we give them to the guests. Jeez.
I'm now
Jeez.
looking to make sure they're still like packaged and you didn't put them on.
Yeah, he had to peruse it
You're
a
the
little
second
bit.
guest in a row that has talked
Peru.
about that.
Really?
I got you. Good one. She was the first person born in the Americas to be canonized. Not America, like the revival. The
Right.
Americas,
Right.
like
right.
the continent.
Did you just turn to Forrest Gump for a second?
Yeah, I think he did.
He was Lieutenant Dan, and now he's Forrest Gump.
Amazing.
Well, speaking of turning into other things, Joel, we usually go out. But first of all, if you want your own socks, 10% off, go to sockreligious.com/BeatiDudes. But we actually have an outgoing comment from a good friend of yours, Joel. Here we go.
Hello and thank you. I'm from the 103rd Battalion. I was very grateful for Admiral Joel Stepanek's leadership as we won that gruesome battle for the peanut stand in Philadelphia. He's a good man. He leads the people well, and I just am so grateful you would host him on the show. Thank you for all you do. The BeatiDudes are good people, good folks. God bless you and God bless Joel Stepanek. Thank you.
Joel, where did you go just now?
Sorry, I was thinking about the battle at the peanut stand.
We'll see you after the break.
The team at Aquinas Wealth Advisors believes that good values and good returns are not mutually exclusive. Using a tech-smart and morally sound approach, they provide investment alternatives that align with Catholic teachings without sacrificing returns. These days, faith-driven investors are finding it hard to know where their money is going. They have no visibility into what their dollars are supporting, but there's a better way. Thanks to the Faith and Finance Score from Aquinas Wealth Advisors, you can look into your current holdings to see what you're supporting and make a switch to an advisor that aligns with your values and gives power to your voice. Check out AquinasWealth.com today.
Hey, y'all, this is Jeff Scheffelbein. When Nick and I set out to start our new company, Undivided Life, we were really concerned about how would we cover the healthcare needs of our growing families, and we were so excited to find a company that fit both our medical needs and our faith beliefs perfectly. It's called Solidarity Health Share. It is an ethical alternative to traditional health insurance. We're never part of sharing in the medical costs of anything that goes against the teachings of the Catholic Church, making it a great alternative for Catholics and Christians alike. Solidarity is very affordable, which is perfect for a large family or for a new and growing business like the one we've started. So visit joinsolidarity.com today so that you can get started with us.
Hi, it's Paul Kolker from the BeatiDudes here, and I just wanted to share with you guys that I also, outside of the show, perform improv comedy on a regular basis with a group called Divine Comedy. So what we do is we come up with everything on the spot, so whether you're looking for faith-filled, fun, family-friendly comedy for your youth night, or whether you're looking for clean comedy for your corporate event, Divine Comedy can perform for your group and even get you in on the action. So if you'd like to hire us to come out and perform for your next event, check out DivineComedyImprov.com. Divine Comedy, an inferno of fun.
Welcome back, everybody. We are here with Joel Stepanek from the National Eucharistic Revival and National Eucharistic Congress coming your way July 2024 in Indianapolis.
It's a hard thing to say.
In India.
You went back into drill sergeant mode for a second.
Yeah, I did. I messed that one up bad. Anyways, Joel, getting involved with the Eucharistic Congress, I'm imagining that there's a contingent of folks that you're working with day in and day out, and then there's everyone across the country. Like, is there something that people can do between now and July? Like, hey, I know there's a procession. I know there's a Congress. Like, can I do something in January, in February, in March? Like, is there anything to help out with, or how does that work?
Yeah, I think there's a couple of things I'd encourage people to do. One is, pray. Pray
Sure.
for the Congress, and you can sign up actually to be a committed prayer partner. We have monthly meetings where people get together on Zoom. Hundreds and hundreds, sometimes thousands of people get together for these online prayer meetings, which are pretty cool. So you can sign up to do that in an official capacity, or even just in an unofficial capacity. Prayer is good. Praying for this moment, praying for the people involved, without a doubt. You can follow social media. We'll have updates on what's happening with the Congress and these pilgrimages, but also just content that's meant to help people pray and reflect a little bit more, learn and grow. And I think that's actually the other thing I'd encourage people to do. It's not necessarily a tide helping thing, but to really evaluate their own lives as I've been doing, as all of my coworkers, teammates have been doing. How am I postured towards worship in the Eucharist? That's where revival happens. Like sometimes we think in the church that it always has to be this top-down thing, and we get frustrated when it's not, but then we get frustrated when it is. Like when there's a top-down thing, there's sort of this rebellion of like, of course they're going to do the hierarchy or the uppers, they're going to push something down and make us do that. But revival is a grassroots work of the Holy Spirit. And because of that, because it's the sovereign work of God, it means two things. It means we have to pray for it, and not just pray for it, but like beg for it. Lord, send revival. And then we have to rend our hearts to be ready for it. I think that's key. And that's the work of every individual person. And I think it's easy to get externally focused and be like, the reason why church attendance is down, or religious belief is down, or belief in the Eucharist is down, is something out there. It's them. It's an other thing. When really I have to look in the mirror and say, where have I allowed my heart to be callous and cold? And where have I allowed my faith to fizzle out? And where have I not lived the fruit of my reception of the Eucharist? And how does revival need to start in me? And that's something I think every person can earnestly do. And if we did that as a church in the United States, revival is inevitable.
Those are really hard-hitting questions. Are there any easier questions that we can ask?
No.
No.
Okay. All right. Just had to
I was
try.
gonna say, you're a
think
great guest, 'cause
I don't
I
want to
can
get
ask
like
anything.
crazy about it, but we have these debates in the church about
Yeah.
different things, and post-COVID we have debates about, even simple like why isn't the Eucharist available under both the bread, both species?
Sure.
Why can I not receive the body of Christ and the blood of Christ? And those are questions that just kind of get away from the point of like, what does it mean to me when I go to receive?
Yeah.
Because theologically, you only need to receive under one form. It's the body, blood, and soul, and divinity of Jesus Christ,
Right.
Whether it's the species of the bread or the wine, which isn't the bread or the wine, but
No, yeah.
it's everything.
Yeah.
But I think we ask these questions because they deflect from the hard questions.
Yeah.
We're asking, we talk about musical preferences or all these other things, which are good, but the real question is, what is my posture when I go to worship, and what is my posture when I leave? Did the person that I received at Mass, is he going to make a difference in my life, or am I going to go back to business as usual.
Yeah, I take back all my questions about who are you most excited to hear play music. What posture are you most excited
Yeah.
about having post
Yeah.
receiving the Eucharist?
What?
Jolie?
We're gonna warp your name so many different ways.
And I won't say anything about it. That's the issue.
Yeah.
I'll be like, yes.
Till 8 years from
And
now.
how are you?
Yeah, 8 years from now, I'll be
reviving
like,
yourself?
guys, when
Come on
you
about
said
this
that
revival.
thing.
Yeah. Hey, this is awesome, and I hope that everybody will go to the website you said. It's National Eucharistic. It's Eucharistic.
It's just Eucharistic.
Oh, yeah.
If you go to eucharisticrevival.org, that will connect you to all three things. The Eucharistic Revival, which is something accessible at your parish level, the Eucharistic Congress, which is the big national event, and the Eucharistic Pilgrimages, which are those 4 routes that will go across the United States. And many of them will probably cross within, distance, driving distance of many of the listeners. And you should, if you're hearing this and you're close, you should drive. And
the
go
starting
encounter one of
the
those routes.
starting points are
Starting in the western route is starting in San Francisco. The northern route is starting up near Duluth, northern Minnesota. The southern route is starting in Brownsville, Texas. And then the eastern route is starting in New Haven, Connecticut.
wow.
For all you Texans, I'm pretty sure it peels off and goes to Louisiana for a little bit.
It does.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it'll go up through Corpus Christi, through Louisiana.
But when you say driving distance in Texas, like 8 hours is just getting started.
I know. This state is mad. Here's what I love about Texans. Can I tell you this? You will know somebody's from Texas because you will say, hey, where are you from? And they'll be from the smallest town. And they'll just say the name of that town.
Not even Texas.
Not even Texas.
Lindale.
Anywhere else in the country. Where are you from?
Stillwater.
I'll still tell. I'm from Phoenix. I'm from Phoenix, Arizona. Where are you from? Plano.
Mineral wells.
Yeah, the smallest town. And then people are incredulous when you're like, what state is that in? What state's that in?
The greatest nation in the nation.
Yeah, didn't you learn your, geography?
That's it. That's
Yep, we all learned the state of Texas.
Well, like,
In
name a part.
Wisconsin.
Like, if you're in your one part of Arizona and somebody else is like, well, I'm in not Scottsdale. What's like the suburbs there? Like,
Scottsdale. I mean, in
Okay.
Phoenix, it'd be Scottsdale, Gilbert,
Yeah.
Glendale.
yeah. So, it's, like, I might be like, hey, I'm going to be out in Phoenix. Like, what part? And I tell them, they're like, oh, I'm like 50 minutes from there. So we probably shouldn't meet up. And I'm like, 50 minutes?
It's true. If
That-
you,
That's
Phoenix
like
is,
going to the grocery store for us.
Yeah. We just don't like to drive. That's hard. You go up to.
Do you know, tomorrow I'm driving 3 hours to go and see a client in the morning. Like, that's
Bless
not a
you.
big deal for us. So,
Well, people in Texas are amazing.
Thank you.
Yes,
That's all we
okay.
were looking for.
ladies and gentlemen, this has
If you
been
say
the,
so.
this is the end of the show. In fact, we might just be finally done with the entire.
We're shutting her down.
All these episodes to get to that one comment.
Yeah, if you're watching on YouTube, Joel meant it.
Yeah.
I did mean it.
And tell us how much you love Texas on a scale of 9 to 10.
With both being awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to do our TBD question of the day. TBD stands for the BeatiDudes, and you should play along at home. And this is an interesting one. We're thinking about this National Eucharistic Congress and the various processions. None of them start outside of the U.S. or in Hawaii or Alaska, so those are U.S. places.
They're states, Jeff.
Yes, correct. There are places as well.
They have representation in Congress.
We're all right.
The Eucharistic
You
Congress?
could ask yeah, well, the Congress. Paul, you
Oh.
know all about politics.
yeah.
Tell us more.
That's not garbage. That's an amendment.
Yes, I'm
to
only
be-
a bill. Dang it.
And I hope that they will ratify me.
Oh, yes, I'm just sitting here. Anyway, let's
I'm
keep
doing
going.
the Simpsons version.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
so
The
the
Simpsons
TBD
version was classic.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
I'm just a bill.
You make a pretty good wadded up piece of paper.
Thank you.
So,
Yeah. Anyway.
the question today is: somebody gives you and your spouse just an all expenses paid trip over the week to anywhere in the 48 contiguous states. They're very specific about this trip. Where are you going and why? And somebody's taking care of your kids. Don't worry about any of that kind of hoo-nanny. I am. My selection for this is Hermosa Beach, California.
Mm.
I just love the combination of weather, people watching to some degree, but also just this kind of like walking feel. You just get there, walk, chill. Like everybody's just going slower. Could never live there, don't want to, but I'll go there for a week if somebody's got the kids.
There you go.
It's also the first place my wife and I said I love you to each other.
Oh,
And then I hugged some guy walking by.
did you hear that, man?
No, he hugged you. He was like,
Yeah,
dude,
he
that's
hugged you.
awesome. Dude, that's awesome for you.
You professed your love. My wife and I, we would go to mineral wells. No, actually, we would, and I'm not going to say the state. No, we would go to, actually, probably New York, because that's one of my wife's favorite spots. I haven't been there since I was a kid. I mean, yeah, it's just the buildings and the Central Park and all of that. And she had some. I think one of her friends still lives up there. I actually kind of forget where all of them landed, but she's visited up there in recent years and loved it and all of that. So yeah, going up there together I think would be a blast.
Also appreciate that you told us what state it was in.
Yeah, no, it's the city so nice.
Yep, they did
Named
something
it
twice.
That's it.
We're actually, my wife and I are going next week for
Whoa.
For our 5th anniversary.
Nice.
Hey,
Yeah.
get this,
Congrats.
they're going next week a month ago.
Oh yeah, that's right. Well, I didn't know how I wanted to say it. I could have gone either way,
Be
Jeff.
mindful of the
If I
publication
said, oh, we did,
schedule.
Yeah.
if I said, oh, we did it a month ago, you'd be like, it's
Yeah.
next week.
This content is evergreen.
Yes.
Anyways, we would probably choose something that has mountains. So whether that's Jackson Hole, that's the first one that comes to mind. Maybe somewhere in Montana, something like that.
Awesome. Just somewhere in Montana. You don't have to name it. You just go.
I just know it's there. It's good.
It's there.
Yeah.
There's a mountain.
Yep. We'll
Lots of
climb.
them.
We'll climb it halfway at least.
A river runs through it.
Indeed.
Jolie.
We go to Chicago.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love Chicago. It's a great Midwestern city.
The
But
Bears.
Chicago in the summertime
Bang, bang.
is awesome.
yeah.
It's
it
It's a great festival
It
city.
is. It's great.
By the lakeshore.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. The temperature is great. There's the food is awesome.
You want to go see the Bean?
Millennium Park. I almost once got arrested in Millennium Park.
What?
Go on.
Yes.
So the
Title of your autobiography. Go.
we went there when I was working for Life Teen to film this really cool video, and the concept was we had like a school desk, and we would set it in places and then invite people just to sit down at the desk. They'd flip open a notebook, and we had like big questions written in it, like what is love, what's the meaning of life. And there was something so disarming about a person sitting down in this old school desk and reading these questions. The answers we got were incredible. We went to Millennium Park. We're like, let's film there. There's tons of foot traffic. And we talked to the people, to kind of say, hey, we're going to do this. And they were all on board with it because we're like, yeah, we're a youth advocacy organization. And then they found out we were a religious organization, and they chilled out on that. Like, if we were like, we're here with Young Democrats, they'd have been like, totally fine.
Sure.
But because we were a religious organization, like, no, you can't bother people with that. So we went and did it anyway. We weren't bothering people though.
Nope.
Yeah, you were inviting.
But and we were, and people were. It was great. But a guy came up on a Segway and was like, "We told you guys. Now you either leave here or you're going to be trespassing."
Did you
Paul
say-
Blart.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Did you
it
say,
was-
dude,
Yes.
you're on a Segway?
And it's really hard to take a guy on a Segway seriously, but he did also have a
badge.
gun.
Oh,
And,
yeah.
So
The Texas A&M
and
transportation.
It was like, but we moved, but he was mad. He was not happy. But Chicago, we would go there.
Cool.
I wish you would have got arrested on the Segway. Like he just straps you to his back and hauls
He was
you
a
off.
big guy. He could have. Like, that was part of the reason why we were like, hey, maybe we should take. So now we're walking downtown Chicago with this desk, just like to different spots. And no one blinks an eye. They're like, yeah, I mean, that's
Chicago.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome, brother. Okay, well, listen, I hope you've enjoyed this episode. We're going to finish this differently as we do every Monday episode. We call this Reverse Simpsons. We do something different at the end for every Monday. And this week, we're going to do something that's going to take a little bit of technology fidgeting here, but we're going to play a game of Password. I'm the game master for this one, and the way this is going to work, we've already tested. I will be turning down the volume for both Paul and Nick every time I press play on the recording machine to let Joel know what the password is.
Okay, boomer.
It's a recording.
The recording machine.
recording
You push
machine.
this button and it plays back audio.
The phonograph.
Where do you put the tapes? Where did the tapes go?
Well, I hope it didn't eat the tape because it's an iPhone 13 recording machine.
Uh-huh.
But that's the only reason I bought it. It has a recording app already
Oh,
built
sure.
in. It's
Nice.
pretty cool.
That's an
That's
expensive
the only reason.
recording machine.
I had one of those in '96.
Do you have the one from Home Alone too?
Yeah.
Yeah, Talk Boy.
Yeah, talk about it.
Okay, so we are going to play this game. And here's what we're going to do. Joel, you are not playing any favorites here, but you want somebody to get this in the least amount of words, but you can only give one word at a time.
Yep.
And then Nick and Paul simultaneously are trying to like say, oh, and they're
Yep.
trying to name it. They're not trying to like whatever. That's a terrible description.
We got it.
And there's going to be
Good
a
luck if
point
you're
for
playing
each
at
one of
home.
them. Yeah, good luck. Well, they'll be
Okay.
able to hear it. So they know what you don't know at home.
True,
Does
true.
that make sense? So I'm
True,
going to turn
true.
you guys down.
Okay, here we go.
If you hear this one, will y'all give me like a...
Yeah, we'll let
Okay.
you know. We shouldn't. Nope, I got nothing.
I got nothing as well.
I haven't pressed it yet, dudes.
Okay.
The password is jump shot.
Did you press it?
Did you do it?
I pressed it. Now you're back in.
Oh,
I got it.
I'm impressed.
Joel?
Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Basketball.
LeBron James.
Tony Kukoc.
Full court press.
Indiana
Free-
Pacers.
Halftime.
Free throw line.
Hoosiers.
Extra point.
Up and down.
Penalty.
Shot.
Shot clock. Clock?
Actually, Joel just lost a point by using the word.
It's part of the word? I can't use part of the word?
Do you think you can use part of the word?
Hot
Shame
shot.
about words?
Shoot.
You said shot.
I said shoot.
Penalty shot?
There's no way to go back and
What?
know.
It said jump shot.
No, not penalty. It was
Jump.
But you know,
Oh.
the next one he was going to say was jump and
I
see
don't
if
know
you
that
got
they would. I
jump
don't know if they
shots.
would have gotten that. After they shot. Okay, I got
Shot
it.
jump.
Okay. That was a
That was a mistake on
try.
our
We
part.
at least know that it all works.
It all works.
Yeah, this is phenomenal.
I'll do better this next
Okay,
time.
I'm turning you down.
Okay.
Okay.
The password is bingo. Nobody heard that?
What?
Okay, here we go.
This one's easier. Church Hall.
Knights of Columbus.
Old lady. Game.
Bingo.
Cakewalk.
You got it. Paul, got it. Do you want to hear something really funny that I meant to tell you? I originally recorded a couple of these just to see what they were, and the first one I ever recorded was LeBron James. That's the first thing Nick said.
Wow.
But I took
That's
it off
funny.
the list. So,
Wow.
yeah, you almost got it.
Brainwaves from what you erased.
All right. Paul
Mandela
won.
effect.
Joel, -1.
Yeah, and I'm not even playing.
Yeah,
I'm
you're
-1.
losing points.
There's no way for me to earn points back, which is really
Christopher
sad.
will
Wow.
have you in
like
the
We have
Anti-grace.
we have somebody who keeps track of it. You
Okay.
have lost points. We'll see if you get them back throughout the next 2 episodes. All right, next one. Here we go. The password is enchilada.
Burrito.
Taco Bell.
salsa.
Covered.
Tortilla.
Salsa.
Smothered.
Queso.
Jalapeno sauce.
Cooked.
Chimichanga.
Close.
Wait.
Taquito.
Spicy.
Meet the ball.
Cheesy.
Crunchwrap Supreme. Taco Bell.
The whole.
Enchilada.
Good one. Good one. Gosh, that was fun to watch the wheels turning.
This is tricky.
I like
Chimichanga
his
was
words.
like
Totally,
close.
that was like I totally got Paul there. You know, like what you
Sure,
talked
that's
about
how
was
it-
like,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah, sure.
It's brainstorming for sure. It's really how
no,
it
it
works.
is. It's a team effort
Uh,
that I won.
yeah,
It's the alley and the oop.
yeah.
I was worried because that was 2 words, and I wasn't sure if you'd ding me for using the definite
Well,
article.
I know, but I'm giving you an okay there. I also love that one of your words was close. Close.
Well, because he said chimichanga, I was like, close.
My word is close.
Keep going with other, you know,
Yeah.
Open.
other
It was,
baked
it was
Mexican
honestly
foods.
a great.
All right, we're gonna go up to level 201. These are worth 1.5 points. Paul has
Ooh.
2. You have -1. You got 0. Here we go. The password is Crusader.
Batman,
Robin.
caped.
Crusader.
Oh,
Oh, just he was a little bit quicker. Paul's at you're at 3.5 points, Paul.
I think I ought to get points if I use less than 3 words. That's just I'm
Oh.
gonna camp it because that was good because I thought if I say Batman
yeah.
and then caped, somebody
That
would
was
get
a
it to
good
kinda
combo.
prime, you see?
Yeah.
Okay, if you
That's
can get
fair.
it, if you get this next one in one word, you get 101 points. And then listen, I go down by 100 points for every word you use. If you
You
get
put
it,
me negative.
no, you won't go negative. But if you get
Okay.
it in 2 words, you'll get your point back and you'll be at 0.
Okay, well that's fine. Okay.
We're going full Jansenism.
All right, here we go. I'm going to turn down the headphones. The password is reconciliation. They're back on.
Yep.
He's got a lot of pressure on him.
Elvis Presley.
Tim Gunklowski.
Confession.
Sacrament.
Father.
He was going for the 101 points. He didn't get it. So keep going, Joel.
Of.
Penance.
Continue.
reconciliation.
There you go.
All right, that was a 1.5
Penance
pointer for
of
you.
The one of all the thing that no one ever calls the sacrament of reconciliation, the sacrament of penance, which is its proper name.
Yes, because I went to seminary for 3.5 years.
I guess that's fair.
All right,
That's how you know.
Yep.
As the game master, Joel, you got back to 0 for just the absolute effort you put in there. That was
Thank you.
pretty special.
Because
what
I
one
torpedoed
thing did I
his
say?
shot.
That was awesome. Nick, you got on the
did.
board with 1.5 points. You finished with 3.5 points. Game master gets a half point just for being cool. And
Congratulations.
absolutely.
80.5 points. Look at you.
Big day.
What a day. Looks like we made it.
Okay.
Joel, we're going
I'm
to
so
come back.
happy for you. I could hug Nick.
Yes. And scene.
Amazing.
If you've enjoyed the show, please like and subscribe and share it with a friend, please. That we're growing and it's awesome, but we want to grow faster and reach more people.
And
so.
Paul, if they didn't, they should actually like and subscribe and share as the sacrament of penance.
Well, yeah. Just do it as a penance. I think Father Edwin has given it out that way.
Either way, you're
Yeah.
doing it.
Yes.
Come on. All right, well, we're going to see y'all in line for the confessional, and for the rest of you, we will.
See you in the Eucharist.
God bless us.
Thanks for tuning in. If you'd like to join us at our undersized table, subscribe to the video version of the show on YouTube by typing @ that's the symbol @ so shift and 2 on your keyboard, @ the _ BeatiDudes on YouTube. We'll see you there.
This podcast is part of the Spoke Street Network. For more great podcasts, visit spokestreet.com.